welcome back to Lounging Lizards, where my lizards are still lounging. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that you could do to save money on keeping your reptiles. First things first are water dishes. Now when you go and get your first leopard gecko, bearded dragon, or something rather, they will try and get you to buy the fake rock plastic shit bowls that they have. I fell for it when I got Prudence, and the reason why was because I was like, oh, I want the tank to look nice, and I want it to kind of flow really good. It doesn't need to. Those bowls are actually more harm than good. A lot of bacteria can get into there. I don't know how many times I've tried scrubbing the dirt out of them, but unfortunately, nothing would work. So I gave up on it. For a while I was using ceramic dishes that I found in the small animals aisle at PetSmart. Those work fine, but once again, it's really hard to keep them 100% clean. And then of course the hard water buildup from that as well. So this is my solution. You can go to a wholesale place. I have Canadian Wholesalers Club, which is open to the public. You don't need a membership to it. And I just went into the food service aisle and I found these 8-ounce deli cups. They are perfect. They don't tip over with a leopard gecko. If you are concerned about them tipping over, you can go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or Rona. You can get cufflings that fit so that they're on that edge right there and they will not tip it over. But with my geckos, I've never had an issue with them tipping it over, and it saves me a lot of time in terms of having to clean the bowls out. It works really well when you have multiple animals like I do, and it just keeps everything sanitary because I keep them in there for a week. I take it out and then I replace it with a new cup. Saving tip number 2 is feeders. My suggestion, buy your feeders online in bulk. Here in Canada, there is a guy out of Alberta that breeds mealworms and supers and crickets. I'll put a link in the description of the online store. US, it's a lot easier to come by, but here in Canada, because of the weather, it's hard to come by. So here I have a bunch of supers in here. The way that you can house them. Now, a lot of the times they'll tell you, oh, you need to get a cricket keeper because it helps to keep the airflow in there and all this other stuff. Well, cricket keepers are pretty expensive. So if you go to the dollar store or, somewhere where you can get a decent sized bin, get one of these. And what I did was I cut a square on the top and I got a strainer from the dollar store as well. Just like a flat strainer, like a random one, doesn't really matter. And I took it, I cut a hole in the top, and I cut the square here bigger than the hole that I made. And I used a hot glue gun, and I hot glued the mesh on top. And that provides some airflow for them as well. Tip number 3 is mainly for people that have bearded dragons. They do not poop in one particular corner. They poop wherever they're sitting, and they'll run away from it most of the time. So these, I don't know if you can find them in the States, but I know here in where I live in Ontario, you can find these at the dollar store. They are literally like $2 a bag, and you get a pack of 14. I bought, there's 3 other bags here. And basically you can line the cage with it. You can do it with leopard geckos as well. It's not going to hurt them or anything like that. And in general, it's just a lot more sanitary. Because once they do poop, you can take it, crumple it up, throw it out in the garbage, and then you're fine. You can also buy them, by the hundreds at PetSmart. It will be a lot more expensive. But in the long run, it will kind of save you money because... Tip number 5, which is the last tip that we have, is tank cleaner. So a lot of the times they'll tell you to get some disinfectant. I do have the scrub, it's like the Flucker's, what is it called? Flucker's Super Scrub. I do have that. In fact, you can see it over there. But what I do is I actually take it and I water it down with water. A bottle of Super Scrub, depending on where you are. Here in Canada, I know that I found it for probably say about $12 or $15. That's the cheapest price that I can find on it. But yeah, like you can use like an old Windex bottle, like really clean it out. Another option that you can do is to just go to a dollar store and you can literally find a water, like a spray bottle. You can literally find those in like the household items, and this one only cost me $1. So you can do that, and then of course you're watering down all of the scrub as well, so it's it'll help a lot more in terms of saving you money that way. Or you can take like Lysol concentrate and fill it up like maybe up to there, and then the rest with water. This will keep your cage sanitized, and when you do clean it, it'll just be a lot better. Some people use bleach. I personally don't like the ammonia smell. I don't have a room that's well ventilated where my animals are, so I try to minimize the amount of ammonia that I have to smell. So, yeah, so that's a good tip right there. And until next week, my lizards will still be lounging.